Okay.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Nev, and I am the director of the Resist Trump campaign. We are today meeting for our ICE Out call, and I'm going to be sharing a little bit of information up front, and then we'll move into just like an open discussion that may or may not address the kind of main theme of today's call. So to kind of begin, I will share with you the First Amendment, which is the United States protection of its residents and citizens' freedoms of expression. Freedom of expression. I'm probably not saying all of that correctly, but hope to say it more correctly in the future. In reference to the actual First Amendment, it's the written text says, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble, and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Does anyone here have a grievance?
So many.
So many.
Where do we
Okay,
start?
we're gonna go with so many. Emily, what about you? Do you have a grievance?
It's terrible here. This
Why?
country used to be a great country and not so much right now.
Yeah, why is that? Why is it so bad? Is it the news?
It's a big combination of things. So we have a president who is acting against the Supreme Court,
Yeah,
who basically saying that I don't care what you think, I'm gonna do whatever I want anyway. Who the Supreme Court actually enabled because
yeah,
they said that he could run for president knowing that he doesn't care what they think. He's a felon, a sex offender, and a thief.
yep,
Um, he's so many things. He's running the country. He enabled domestic terrorism, and he released those domestic terrorists from any kind of culpability,
yeah,
putting our citizens in danger, immediate danger if they're in that area. And now we have people who are abducting citizens and non-citizens off the street. It doesn't matter what you look like at this point. If you are semi-brown, you may be
yeah.
abducted. If you're
That's
Canadian,
crazy, man.
you may be abducted.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, like I haven't witnessed an abduction myself, other than like what's coming through my like feed. Um, but it's wild what's going on, and they're also manhandling protesters, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
shooting them with pepper balls in very close range and spraying pepper spray in their costume vents, the ventilation things and like the frog costume. I don't know if anyone saw that, but walked up to it, opened the vent to the costume and just pepper sprayed all inside. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. I saw live this morning where a mother was out with her infant and they literally put chains on the stroller. And I'm just mm, mute.
Yeah,
Yeah, I saw a quote, I think it was from David Plouffe, that we've gone from zero to hungry in 6 months. I mean, it's just great. Like
yeah.
they're just going hell for broke to undermine all our institutions and all of our norms and the Constitution itself.
What do these
So
guys actually want? Like, what do they really want? Like a theocracy
Want
tomorrow?
a technocracy.
A technocracy?
Yes, they know they really do. They want a monarch style CEO to rule as president with a close board of advisors for a cabinet, and then that's it. It's
That's
bad.
the Curtis Yarvis, or whatever his
Yeah,
name
the
is.
Dark Enlightenment a little bit. Yeah, look into that guy.
Okay, I'll
Yeah,
probably not, but
no, please do.
I'll
Please.
do my best to like not look into him and
I
just
need someone else
imagine
to
he
not
doesn't exist.
sleep.
I would call it more of a kleptocracy. I mean, in that they are doing a massive wealth transfer from the bottom to the top,
Yeah,
and basically consolidating their gains and getting ready to take more.
yeah,
Or a kakistocracy because we have the worst people ruling.
yeah. Like literally, I mean, it couldn't get
Yeah.
any worse.
Yeah.
Maybe it could, but I mean, yeah, man.
It can always
Okay, so
don't challenge it.
sorry, what was that? I didn't hear that.
I said it can always get worse, so don't challenge it.
True.
We thought
Yes, true.
I thought it could never get any worse than George W. Bush. Now I feel nostalgic for
Oh,
it.
same. I'm like, I
Right?
miss that happy fool. Like, God.
At least he could like take
You
a
guys,
joke.
I mean, this was
It
nuts.
was
But do you
dumb.
guys remember when that protester threw a shoe at him?
That's a
Yeah.
favorite George W. moment. Yes.
Oh yes.
Oh man, that was wild. Those were wild days. Those were really wild days.
I mean, to cheer
Anyway.
myself up, I watched W edits. That's sad. Of just his face. He's just such a fool. God.
The Republicans have blessed us with so many winners. Oh man, that's just a little bit of smack talk. I respect
Yeah.
for the
No, but
Republicans,
this is a
you know,
unique this
except
is
for now.
a unique moment, a unique just overreach moment.
Yeah,
I don't think we've experienced this before in this country. Like maybe Nixon was the closest thing, but we had institutions then that could stand up to him. So
yeah. All right, so I guess we're going to be talking a little bit about strategy today. That was offered to us by someone prior to our opening up the call. And one way to think about strategy is to use what's known as a framework. It's like an organizing map or something like that. So like one framework that we're like kind of trying to use is Maria Stephan's 4Bs. Sometimes it goes by 3Bs. And that, is what we're working with lately. There's another good framework out there for actions that kind of, counter authoritarianism. There's probably more than one. Daniel Hunter has a good one. I like this one. And so we built our theory of change, right? Which is like it's like our like methodology or whatever, like our grand, strategy. It's just like a general, like it's a very like, I don't know, nonprofit kind of term, right? That like explains like how what you're doing will like help you achieve your goal. So currently we are working with an iterative, like a theory of change that changes when circumstances suggest it should. But we're advising, grassroots groups, whether they're, long-standing groups that are looking to expand from, traditional forms of engagement, like canvassing or whatever it is, to more assertive forms of political communication. And that includes, individuals who also want to start their own groups, right? We want to build a network of, experienced grassroots groups, as well as, make room for people who are new and like appalled and have skills. What do you guys think about all that?
Sounds good. I mean, let's go all, full court press, everybody in.
Yeah, I mean everybody who can, right? Like we need people like in a lot of places, but yeah, we need a lot of people. That's for sure.
Mhm.
We need people at every level,
Yeah,
from the bottom up, to be able
yeah,
to say this is enough.
yeah.
And we need to change the narrative. We need to
How so?
break through the media, the media wall, I think is, right now, it's not showing what's really happening. That we need to
Yeah,
like, make it clear that there's, like a significant resistance here, significant opposition.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And we also need to make it clear that these resistances are not violent.
Right, right.
We, during the No Kings marches here in Texas, Abbott was threatening to send the National Guard. And I have family members who were locked and loaded and ready to go should things get violent. And I said, it's not going to happen. It's
Yeah.
just not. And so they were honestly very surprised when things did not get violent. So we need to make sure people know that these resistances as a whole are not violent.
I agree with that. Like I think the word nonviolence helps. But anything else that people, can offer to help like reinforce the nonviolent aspect of our movement is good, you know.
I mean, I feel like in some ways they'll accuse the movement of being violent, even if it isn't. But I mean, if we can demonstrate with our actions and our
Yeah.
words that that is not the case, then hopefully that will come through. I mean, and those are the types of resistances that have succeeded in other
Yeah.
countries in the past. So yeah, we need to follow that model. I agree.
One thing we're working on is a coalition kind of sketch um, that would invite members of this prospective nonprofit association to adhere to like a common code or something like that that included nonviolence.
Lawful nonviolence.
Correct. Which is a subcategory of nonviolence in my
Yes.
in my estimation.
I did learn that, yes.
Yeah.
What would the difference be?
So I think I've got a slide for that. There's a distinction between civil disobedience and lawful nonviolence, and there's also a gray area between the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
But like, Rosa Parks sitting at the front of the bus, civil disobedience.
Yep.
That was illegal, what she did, right?
Yep.
Correct. That's correct. Greenpeace, if I'm not mistaken, was recently sued and lost a suit for civil disobedient acts that it was connected to. So my current thinking is like, from an organizational point of view, I mean, if you want the protection of the organization, you've got to let the organization remain lawful. Like, that's just how it works. Otherwise, you just risk all the work that it takes to put the organization together.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of work, guys. I'm telling you, it's not a little bit of work. So I mean, as long as the organizations toe the line, I think that, that makes sense.
I think what you said the other night was, resonated well, was that the organization itself can't participate in anything illegal or semi-legal, But that doesn't mean that it doesn't,
I mean,
individual
what
members
people do
can
on
feel like
their own
there's
time
right.
outside of being agents of the organization, that's their prerogative, right?
I mean, if they said
There
like,
may
well,
be
yeah,
there may be some question as to whether or not an individual who did something outside of the organization's purview was operating in a way that should be sanctioned by the organization, right? Like if someone, I don't know, was arrested for symbolic reasons or something like that, but they were doing so outside of an organizational event or a coalition event. Like I don't know. I don't know how that would be handled. It seems like that would need to be addressed.
I mean, I'm just thinking, for example, like if they set up free speech zones, quote unquote, and then you protest outside of the free speech zones,
Yeah.
like technically you're right, you're crossing that boundary, but I
Yeah.
mean, give me a
Yeah.
break. But I mean, I guess,
Well, there may need to
don't
be
be
there may
wearing
need to be like
your organization's t-shirt
yeah
when you do that, I
there may
guess.
need to be like some sort of adjudication council inside the coalition
Ooh, I
that
like
like reviews these situations. You know what I mean? Because like there's a lot of gray area. Because if you're challenging a law like the local law that like constrains your free speech inordinately, it is actually civil disobedience, but it's doing so on the basis of a challenge to its constitutional validity, right?
right.
There's got to be some room for that.
Yeah, for
Right?
sure.
I
Yeah, I'd
mean,
be
for,
interested to
yeah.
just like see what other organizations have done with this question in the past. Like,
Yeah.
what does the ACLU do, for example?
Yeah. Yeah. So we were going to talk a little bit about ICE, I believe. What do you guys thinking about ICE?
This is being recorded, right? I'm just kidding.
It is being recorded. It is. It is. Yeah.
I mean, I think
Yeah.
it's a brown shirts type organization. I mean, it's his private army.
Yeah, it's a paramilitary of insurrectionists.
They don't have any like constraints. They don't show their faces. They don't wear uniforms often.
Yeah.
And you have
They
no
just go.
training.
I've seen
Yeah. That's like one of the worst things. They
Yeah,
don't even train.
it's terrifying. They don't know the law. Like
either they don't know or they don't care.
Right.
Yeah.
reckless disregard.
Money talks, man.
It does.
50K.
They're not getting their bonuses, by the way.
That's insane.
I've been reading their forums because I keep an eye on that. Yeah. And they are very upset. Some of them are being sent to locations that they weren't promised. A lot of them haven't gotten their bonuses.
They're
And
$50,000 bonuses.
yes, it's pretty great. And there's a lot that could be done if people wanted to hop in and kind of join the thread saying, yeah, tell about your experience with bad time working for ICE and all of their broken promises. I've seen people doing that where I'm like, that person, I know that name. That is not MAGA. So that's kind of fun.
I've seen that some of them might be bounty hunters as well. I don't know how true that is.
No,
Bounty
that's
hunters
true.
have testified in front of what are they called? Panels saying that they've been offered a lot of money per head that they can arrest.
Yeah, so I had seen that too, and that was like way before, all of the invasion started in like LA and all these places. And I feel like just like how Emily kind of pointed out, like there has to be a distinction between ICE agents who have been a part of the DEA and HSI for a very long time and who have actually been trained, who have suffered a really bad morale because of what's going on, and who are no longer able to investigate sexual crimes, human trafficking, drug smuggling, and all these things, and the insurrectionists and bounty hunters that are now being asked to, or, you know, being recruited to do this job. Because I don't think that they're the same personally. And especially when you see like that while arresting somebody, like their gun is like falling and like they can't, you know, that somebody who has training would not have that kind of fumble. And obviously they would not be aiming at people's heads with the pepper whatever they're called. So I feel like I wish there was a bigger distinction between when we say like that it's ICE agents versus like, you know, whatever little Gestapo Trump has created with this incentive of the $50,000 bonus, and then also with expediting their quote unquote training, and there was another thing, oh my God. They did something else that I was like, really? Like, of course you're not gonna get good people. Of course, pardoning the insurrectionists, and they did end up some people have actually proven based on like the way they walk and stuff like that some of those people have actually joined ICE.
A lot of them.
So
A
yeah.
lot. It's so bad. That's
And
why
a lot of
Um,
people
so-
in ICE have actually quit, who, you know, again, people who have been there for a while because they're no longer able to work for what they were supposed to be doing. Like, again, investigations, going to court, things that were legally, like that we're going through the legal process the way that we should be, as you know, we're supposed to be based on the Constitution. So yeah, I don't personally like blanketing the statement of like all ICE, because I don't believe all of them are what we're seeing out in the world right now.
Of course.
Guys, should I change out of scope on this slide to leave them alone?
do it.
Do it. Okay, I'm gonna do it. Leave alone. Leave them alone. Sorry about
So
that.
I was just going to point out that one website that I really like, I think is very good about debunking false narratives and reports, is Snopes.com, and it's a nonprofit, and I recommend it. I donate to it as well. They have a lot of good information, like they do investigations on
Nice.
whether there's like the truth of any given like internet rumor.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think that any of this conversation connects to bridging to like principled conservatives? Does anyone see any links there?
I mean, I could make them. Oh, the conversation that we're having right now?
Yeah.
I
mean, being like, dude, Trump doesn't pay his vendors, like you're not getting your pay.
Oh
right?
yeah, they're not happy. The conversations I've been having with the principal conservatives, no, they're very upset, very embarrassed, very, very embarrassed. A lot of shame. I mean, as you know, was an open book test, but
Can you
these are
elaborate on that? Like, what are they happy about?
say that again?
Can you elaborate? Like, what are they unhappy about specifically?
Oh, they're unhappy that they're getting everything they voted for, basically. I didn't know he was going to go after non-criminals. This is a big one I hear a lot, is this is not what my values are. This is misrepresenting the Republican Party. This is not what I stand for. How dare he do this? And that part I can't really get into, but for my own sanity, because he had a plan. But they feel like everything, the Medicaid cuts, they're great with Obamacare being gone, Affordable Care Act. I'm trying to think of the other really big issues. Jimmy Kimmel really pushed a lot of people over the edge. That was a step too far. That was a huge crack. They're
But it seems
unhappy
like
about
maybe-
everything they voted for, basically.
Yeah. Have you guys ever seen the Spectrum of Allies chart before? Anyone? Other than Brett,
No,
has anyone
never seen
else
that.
seen it? Oh, you've never seen it?
Mm-mm.
Oh, so this is like a good one. This is another like, strategy thing, where you sort of look at the full spectrum of people and like you kind of think, oh, are they like, where are they in relation to my issue, right?
Yeah.
And so here, it sounds like some people on this call may have engaged with the active opposition and like kind of taunted them, which I think is hilarious. Um, because that also may have like a rhetorical impact, right? Like when you're taunting someone, it does sting, right? Like you're not getting 50K. Sorry about that.
Or
But
even,
that's not exactly what's that?
sorry, even just acting as if you are their ally, not letting them think otherwise and starting to question things like, why are we bailing out Argentina? You guys, this is crazy. And
That
like
is really crazy. Yeah.
plant those ideas in their mind, and then they start thinking about it and they start discussing it amongst themselves. It's fascinating from sociological perspective.
Anyway, yeah, so I mean, we're talking around a few different things, right? Like we're talking about engaging folks in the forums, which is, something that people can do. Um, I think, I think that there's the idea of like engaging principled conservatives around like, some of the corruption of our system that is taking place that is evident with this situation that we're dealing with. Um, yeah, that's kind of all I really had to say.
Yeah, I wish I knew some of these principled conservatives who are starting to crack because I only know basically I only know well one, which is my brother, and I can't get him to like acknowledge that anything is wrong. His
Yeah,
priorities are just upside down as far as I'm concerned. But it's like pretty much 100% like concerns about Israel and anti-Semitism, and it's like, is that all you can see? Is that all that's going on right now? But I can't seem to crack through at all. I sent him
I
like
think like
articles and clippings,
so
there's
one
no
thing
problem
we're
reading.
like, yeah, one thing we're like thinking about right now is like, what is the 2026 election going to look like, and like, what role do they have to play? You know, like, what do we want principal conservatives to do? Like, do we just want them to stay home?
Yes. And
Really?
honestly, at this point, I'm doing whatever it takes. They've lost complete
Yeah,
faith in the system. They think that their votes don't matter. They're completely discouraged. God forbid they become woke, and they're all right now. I mean, it's so early, but right now it is, I'm not voting. It doesn't matter. I'm not voting. I'm not voting.
So
I mean,
Ideally, I
it's
would
so that
want
if they
them.
vote in their federal election choices matter. They do matter.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree with that. Yes. I don't know if I'm going to tell them that.
I
Okay,
mean,
well,
it's,
if we
it's,
take
it's going to be hard to
Texas,
get them to
right?
vote for Democrats, right?
Uh-huh.
Who like support abortion rights, for example. That's
Yeah,
just going to be that's a tall order.
Emily, do you have a thought on this?
um so somebody was saying that they can't get their brother to crack on
Me,
issues.
yeah.
So I actually work with domestic abuse victims and survivors, and something that is very common is they can't say it out loud that something is wrong. They know something is wrong, but they just can't either put their finger on it, or they can't say it out loud because then it's real.
Hmm.
And so just because you are not able to get him to say it out loud doesn't mean that he doesn't know that something is wrong. And I
Yeah.
think that there's a lot of that. Yeah, the cognitive dissonance. Yep, it's
Yeah,
exactly right. There's a lot of people who are admitting, okay, something is wrong. I just don't know what it is, or they are so, or they either are or were so invested in supporting Trump
Hmm.
that it almost hurts
yeah,
to say I was wrong, because then
yeah,
they have to face their consequences of their decisions. They have to face the family that may
yeah.
or may not have disowned them because of their
Yeah.
Their loss. Yes, as Brittany said, identity loss. A lot of them have lost their identities because this cult of personality.
Yeah.
And so it, it would
Yeah, I
not
mean,
surprise me if at some point there's a network of people who are just getting together and talking about what is going on. This is something is weird.
yeah.
Does that
In this,
does that make sense?
yeah, totally. In this case, I'll just speak to my case. Like, he's somebody who's like supposedly a never Trumper. He hasn't voted for Trump. He says, "Don't make me defend Trump," but he's like he's following. He cites the conservative like talking points and playbook of like, this is just a unitary executive. The blah blah blah. This is not something so unusual, and he like you said, he's not willing to acknowledge that he may have made a mistake, like a catastrophic mistake in supporting this. Like also, there's a network of patronage in conservative circles where like maybe your job depends on you continuing to tout the line. Um, so I think that's part of it too. Um, and then finally, the in this case, October 7th, the attack on Israel was so like traumatic, and I don't watch live video of people being killed, but and so I never saw any of those videos. But for some people who do watch the videos, I can understand it's just so traumatic that it's
Yeah.
it deranges your ability to think clearly about anything afterward.
Yeah. Guys, it's getting a little bit later in the call. Would you be okay if I end the recording and begin the uploading process?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. All right, cool. Any final words anyone wants to say? All right.
I do
Here we go
actually
then.
before you
Yeah,
end
go
the
ahead.
recording.
Sure.
So yes, right now is a total clusterfuck, excuse my language. But something that we have to hold on to is hope. And I know that it's so far away, but talking about people having this cognitive dissonance, talking about all of these people who are starting to understand that this is quote unquote not what they voted for. More people than ever are in the streets protesting. More people than
Yeah.
ever are on social media, building connections, having discussions on like TikTok Live is an excellent way to see this in action. So yeah, this is one of the darkest times in our nation's history, but it's not over until it's over, and we have
Fuck
to
yeah.
keep pushing forward. We have.
Sorry to interrupt you. I love what Emily's saying right now. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Absolutely true. Because we do hear so much of the hopelessness and
Yeah.
have to plow through it.
All right,
Yeah, we
guys.
need to find community for sure.
Let me pause the recording or stop it. Thanks again, guys.